Dr. Flight. I hope you're doing well. This is the roundup. This is the weekly roundup for you. And so I just want to really briefly talk about what this week has. So this is week 7. We're talking about branding. Branding is near and dear to my heart because I do a lot of research that is branding related. So understanding how brands work, the idea of brand equity, the value of a brand, how to create a brand, how brand elements are interpreted by customers. And finally, we've talked about strategies of branding, how we can incorporate brands within the structure of the organization. And finally, positioning using brand concept to position a product in the marketplace. So there's actually a lot. We could spend an entire semester talking about branding and the tools that we use to brand with. So on this week, though, a couple things coming up. So certainly there's some good readings. Chapter 7 in the text. Kapfer's brand identity model there's a real short little synopsis on that. There are lots of examples online about that model too, and one of the videos talks about that specifically. Dimensions of brand personality. That's a deeper article that you might want to read or look at for reference. So you might want to skim it, kind of pick out the big pieces, but the idea that brands can have a personality like a human trait. That's something that we look at. We measure that quite a bit, actually. The 50 Shades of Blue and the Play Like a Champion article, those are two sports-related articles. They're just kind of fun more than anything. But they talk about how organizations are very protective of their brand elements. So the elements that they consider, like in 50 Shades of Blue, it's about the Tar Heels, North Carolina, Tar Heels University, and the shade of blue they use, which is Carolina blue. The Play Like a Champion article is about the slogan Play Like a Champion that is popularized by Notre Dame. However, the actual saying was used many decades before they ever used it at Oklahoma. So completely different environment, and yet it's a trademark now that denotes the University of Notre Dame. So again, those are protections and kind of the fierceness of maintaining an identity through the brand elements that we use. We talk about brand equity. So the Kantar reference piece, again, that's a good document just to thumb through and get a feel for if you want to know more about brand equity and measuring brand equity. And the Perceptor model is actually an Excel file sheet that you can look at and play around with. It's self-explanatory, so there's not really a video on it. You can open that up, but basically you put in information and it will map two-dimensional space perceptual maps for you. So it's an Excel file that has a template in there, and so it's just kind of handy to do. So lots of, obviously, branding and positioning. That's what this week is all about. It's a really fun week in terms of the material we cover and such. So reading the material, kind of being comfortable with these concepts is where you want to be. Certainly the weekly reflection. Also, we'll do the forum, the discussion forum for this week. It's posted. There will be a case. There's a case coming up due. So I think I've mentioned this before. So again, I highlighted again this week. I've highlighted it before, but that's there. And further down on the horizon, I know you just finished part 2 of your project with your teams. Part 3 is coming up here in another couple weeks on the 26th. So I guess a week and a half or so to think about for that. So we chug along and move forward. Now, and so I'll just kind of scroll down. Now, importantly, we will not add new material in week number 8. So in other words, this is week 6 material, and we will, I hate to say skip week 8, but it's midterms. It's the midpoint of the semester. And so I find it a good opportunity just to pause, catch up, and kind of reflect on the first half of the term, and then come back on the 19th and kind of jump back into material, which will be actually technically week 9 in terms of the material. We'll do new product development when we come back from that. So think of this week as just a pause in the content. It also gives us a little bit of a breather in terms of some of the due dates when things are due. So those aren't mistakes or mistypes or whatever. We do have a little extra time to be able to turn in material as opposed to this week, next week. Okay, so happy roundup, happy week. Have a good week. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything that I can certainly help you with. And yeah, take care.